And hello, my name is Dr. Carol Clark, and I'm the president of the International Transgender Certification Association. And today I'm with Omar Hassan, a trans man who has a really interesting story to tell. So he's going to start now and tell us something about his life and where he started from and how he got to where he is now. So Omar, welcome
Hi.
to ITCA, and tell us a little bit about your life in Egypt and when you were young and up to when you came to the United States.
Well, first, thank you for having me and thank you for listening to my story. It's a great pleasure and a great honor. My name is Omar. I was born in Egypt, raised there as a female until I was 26 years old. Um, I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't know that I'm a trans man until I came here and I started my treatment with Dr. Carol. But I noticed that I was different since I was 8. That's when you start, joining life and doing all the life experience stuff like playing sports, going to school, meeting people, actually talking, having your own thoughts, having your own attitude and dreams. And that's when I realized that I was different. Going to school was it wasn't that big a deal when I was in elementary and the beginning of middle school, but high school was hell. College was living hell.
What made it so difficult?
My look, and the way I talk, the way I walk, my expectation from people, and the way that they expected me to behave. Because I was a tomboy all the time, even from the begin from what I like from the beginning of my time. I don't even remember when I used to go to my brother's closet and grab the clothes to wear. I never liked to wear the clothes that my parents got for me. Of course, the girl stuff, that skirts and the dresses and all these things. At school, elementary school, I remember very, very well. I was brilliant. I was very smart. Uh, I got A's and everything, A pluses. I even joined that team that compete for it's something like the spell contest here, but it's not like quite like that. It's about all the subjects. It's about Arabic, geography, math. Math was my favorite subject, and I was like math Einstein. I was very smart.
So you
Um,
really excelled at all your academic work, but it sounds like socially you were having difficulty because people were interacting with you as if you were a female, and that's how you had to present, and yet
no,
inside.
but not yet. Not in elementary school. All this I'm saying, it was
Oh,
just
okay.
elementary school.
Oh,
Once I
okay.
hit middle school, that's when life hit me and I started dropping down in everything. My
Mhm.
education, my spirit, my communication with people. Because the more I grow, the more manly I look, and the
Ah,
more, yes, and the more masculine and manly I felt inside. So sports, I stopped. I didn't play soccer anymore. Math, I was still good at math, but I didn't show it
mhm.
because I didn't want people to notice me.
And what
Uh,
about your interactions with other people? So when you got into junior high, high school, were you able to date? What was
no.
expected of you? What did you do as far as, romantic or sexual relationships?
Okay, mom. When you say junior high, that's middle school because
Middle
it's a
school,
little bit
yeah.
different there. Okay,
Hmm.
okay. Well, in junior high, I no, I was afraid to talk to people because the more I talk to people, the more they get to know about me, and that was scary.
Mm.
Uh, Dating, that's a no. That was a no, no, no. I did date one girl in middle school, but it was in secret. Nobody knew anything about it. And I don't know how can I describe this, but she was kind of lying to herself too. Like she was acting like my friend in front of everybody, but when me and her are alone, she was my girlfriend. She liked me that way. Um,
So she was concerned that people would think of her as being a lesbian
yes,
because
yes,
you
of course.
appeared to be female. But she was really
Yeah,
attracted to you as a male.
she was. She
Uh-huh.
was. Yeah,
Okay.
she never considered me as female. Uh, so that was the high school, the junior high or middle school. It wasn't like it wasn't that much interesting for me. So I moved up to high school, and that's when the serious life started. First, um, moving from middle school to high school, it was a big deal for me at summertime, the first year, because when you hit that level of life, you gotta be either or, female or male. You can't be in between. You cannot be a tomboy.
Okay.
Um, and by that time, I didn't have my period yet, so my mother was going crazy about it. She was very concerned. She wouldn't take me to a doctor, though. I don't know why. Um,
So you being in an Egyptian Muslim culture, there it became very extreme to be in the gender to which you were assigned. There were
yes.
very clear and separate gender roles, gender that was imposed on you, and certain expectations of how you needed to behave.
Yes, for
That was more
example,
extreme than what we see here in the United States for the most part.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, for example, I had to clean the house, my room, and my brother's room just because I was the girl.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to. It wasn't something that they had to do, or my mother pressed them about it. But me, it was like a duty, and if I don't do it, there was yelling, there was punishment, only because I was the girl.
Mm. And what
Yeah.
expectations were placed on you for marriage in this culture?
Well, that came later on when I hit my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe because I was a little bit different, so they give me a space to find somebody,
Mm.
because they just wanted me to find somebody and show them, hey, I'm a girl. But it's
So coming to
complicated.
the United States, making a
Uh-huh.
decision to do that and actually implementing that, how difficult was that for you?
Oh wow, that was my life achievement. That was like a war, and I won. Um, I tried several times to apply for the United States visa, but I didn't get it. Um, 5 times to be exact, and the sixth time when I applied, I got it only because of my job that I had back there. It was like a royalty job. I worked for a very, very powerful man there, and they didn't ask me many questions. They just saw my job title in the application, and they gave me the visa right away. But I had to apply in kind of weird way. I applied as for a like a honeymoon visa. It was this man that he was my coworker, and he had a crush on me. I don't know why. Um, my parents were pushing me so hard to marry him, and I refused several times, and I kind of fought them several times, and I got spit in my face because of that. I got the disgusted face from them towards me. There was a lot of about a lot of like attitude about that, but eventually it was my only door to get them to calm down and also get my visa. So I made a deal with him to apply for a visa as a couple that getting married and want to go for honeymoon in the United States, and they gave us the visa right away. They gave me my visa right away because of my job, but he had to wait for like 3 months for just background check and stuff. But he got it eventually. And that's it. And I came here.
So then you came to the United States, and how did your life change?
Oh, man.
Mm.
Well, first, the second that my plane landed, I felt safe immediately, and I felt that I've been saved. Uh, Only because I saw online what United States can offer. That's another thing too. When I was back there in Egypt, there was no resources that I like. I didn't even know what was wrong with me. Oh no, not wrong. What was different with me? Um, the internet has no informations. I tried to look for an answer, but I couldn't find anything. I tried to visit therapists and doctors, and even I visited one surgeon that his only field is the intersex hermaphrodite field. So he basically fixed the gender. If the person was born with both genders, he performed surgery and he fixed their gender. So I even went to the doctor too, but it was just a total failure. When I came to United States, I stayed with my family and my mother's part, my mother's side, sorry, and I start looking into what's going on, um, and with the first click on the button, the search button on the Google, I found a video of Dr. Carol Clark talking about how do you feel when you have a man or a woman trapped inside you and that's not you outside. So I clicked on a video and I looked at, I watched it. Oh man, it saved my life. It was just, she was like saying what I wanted to say, but I didn't know how. So I contacted Dr. Clark via email that was mentioned in her video. I told her a little bit about myself, and she emailed me back. The thing that made me feel like I have wings and I could fly, that she emailed me back using my name, Omar, which was a secret between me and all the girlfriends that I had. Um, but she actually emailed me as Omar, and she said that we will have a phone session. And we had our very first phone session. Um, I was drenched in sweat. My heart, you could see my vein from here. It was literally like this.
No.
Uh, and when she said, "Hi, Omar, how you doing?" She's just, I had I don't know, I don't know. It's goosebumps everywhere. But we start talking, we hit it off, and she listened to my story, and bit by bit, Dr. Clark, whom I call mom now, consider as a mom too. She's my real mom. Um, she made me understand, and she helped me understand and realize what's going on, and have my own thoughts and clear my mind and know who I am and embrace that in honor, not in shame.
So I
Yes.
recall a lot about that, and thank you so much. It's been a blessing to be able to help you on your journey. I remember that there were a lot of cultural
Yeah.
thoughts, thoughts that you were having that were plugged into your culture as far as the freedom. A lot had to do with freedom and freedom from your parents and freedom to make your own choices. And so that was one of the things I remember about the difference between your culture, your Muslim Egyptian
Yes.
culture, and the U.S. culture. Um, and then, so we proceeded to help get you plugged in with the asylum attorneys.
Yeah. Yeah. That was.
And then you actually ended up in a homeless shelter. But
Mhm.
in New York City, they were very helpful with you, getting you plugged into services like getting on testosterone, helping you make arrangements for your surgery, for top
Yeah.
surgery, right? And then little by little, you've really pulled yourself up.
Yes.
And where are you now in your transition?
Well, I am in my Wow. It's like my golden days today, those days. No, but let me tell you first about the culture difference that you just mentioned earlier, Mom. Um, where I'm going to give you a simple example. I was too terrified to go buy a sandwich from a fast food restaurant in Egypt because of all the comments that I could hear right in my presence. They didn't care if I'm there or not. Um, I had to lie once and turn because I was like had enough. I was standing online to buy a sandwich because I was hungry and I just couldn't hold it anymore. I had school and it was late. I had to stand actually in a line and buy myself the sandwich. Um, the people, it was like two, three girls behind me. They were laughing and pointing at me, is like saying, "Oh, look how ugly she looks, and why she look like that? Why she's wearing pants like a man? She must be gay and stuff like that." So I turned around. It was the first time in 21 years to defend myself. I turned around and I said, don't you think it might be a slight problem with me that I look that way? Don't you think I might have cancer or something? That's why my hair is so short. That's why I'm look like that. Why are you making fun of me? So I actually made them feel bad. So they stopped, but it made me feel worse that I had to lie like that to just stand and buy a sandwich. Buying clothes was very difficult. Um, so I just hid all my life there. But when I came here, the first thing I did on my own is go into a restaurant and buy a sandwich. I
That's
swear
great.
to God, I went to McDonald's and I bought a sandwich for myself. I stood in line, and I didn't look that manly at the time. I was just like a little boy. I didn't have a beard. My hair was very like I was almost bald.
Mm.
My face was bony. I was very, very little still. And I stood online and I bought myself a sandwich, and I didn't hear one single negative comment or any bullying stuff. I was so happy. You have no idea. So let's just explain the difference in the culture. So, um, what else, Mom?
Well,
Oh,
what else are some challenges you're facing now that you still face?
um, well, it's still difficult to talk to my family. They do accept me now, don't get me wrong. They find it took 5 years of convincing and talking to them, religious wise and just mental wise. Um, I actually did something lately I'm very proud of. My mother usually when she talked to me in ways that I don't like, or for instance, she sent me a message lately saying she was crying, saying, "Oh my God, Amira." She called me was my female name, and she was very loud and clear. Don't do that surgery. Don't change yourself. Don't change yourself and don't change yourself to a man. Don't get that surgery done. If you do it, you're gonna burn in hell because you can't change God creation. I saw this video on Facebook of a man that had this surgery done, and they cut pieces of his flesh on the thigh to make a penis, and he got depressed and he killed himself. So he's going to hell regardless because he killed himself and he changed God creation. Blah 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 blah. It was just a big 15 minutes message. It's just all depressing stuff. The old me would call her and just start yelling and screaming, "Why are you talking like this? You can't judge me like that!" And just scream, scream, scream. But I didn't do that. It was the first time I didn't do that. That was like 2 weeks ago. I was actually calm. I was very calm. I was like, Omar, listen, you gotta understand, she's a mother. She basically lost a daughter, so you gotta be a little bit considerate. So I called her and I was like, Mother, why are you talking like that? What are you talking about? So I actually calmed her down and assured her that I'm okay. Therefore, she was also calm and understanding. She was just concerned. She was a concerned parent. She didn't want me to burn in hell, and she didn't want me to suffer, and
Sure.
she didn't want my body to be disformed, basically. So I kind of assured her that all these things, it's okay. I didn't do that surgery that you saw online. There is so many different surgeries,
Mhm.
and I already had a surgery. You don't have to worry about that. You're the one that taught me when God loves someone, He puts His love in the people around you, right? She said yes, and I told her, okay, there was no one single human being that met me and hates me. Everybody loves me, so that means God loves me too, right? So and I took it from there, a little bit, no screaming, no yelling, nothing. Mind you, her words hurt me dramatically. They did
Sure.
hurt me a lot, but I thought of it like she's a concerned parent and she just
Mhm.
wants the best for me, and I took it from there, and that
Good.
was change. That was a
That's
challenge that I had to deal with before, but now
mhm.
not anymore. It does bother me though when I talk to them, not just her, all my family, all of them,
Mhm. Okay.
um, except my brothers. My brothers, they don't do that anymore.
Your brothers are
Uh,
accepting? Mhm.
they are, and when they talk to me as a man. They don't make mistakes. In the Arabic language, when you speak to a woman, it's different than you speak to a man. The pronunciation and the nouns and the pronouns are different. So when you talk to a man, it's like when you say "I love you" to a man, it's different than you say "I love you" to a woman.
Mm.
So when my family speaks to me, sometimes they make mistakes and they address me as a woman, and it does bother me. It does. Not as much as it used to be because I'm very confident now of myself, but it still leaves just a little bit of a scar. Um,
Thank you, Omar. So, to wrap up, how are you feeling about yourself now, about your life now?
I am very grateful. I couldn't be more happier, uh, uh, confident.
Mm.
I only have a problem with talking to girls now, which I don't know why, and I don't understand because it didn't happen in the past. But I'm sure I'm gonna get over it and find a way to fix that. But total picture, I'm very grateful, very close to God, closer than ever, successful, happy, enjoying life more than I ever could imagine, and thankful for my mom, Dr. Clark, and that too. He helps a
Thank you.
lot, especially with the airport.
Thank you so much, Omar. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And as I said, I'm so blessed to have been part of your journey and to continue to be part of your journey.